Good morning, guys. So this is day 4, and I am here at this little hole-in-the-wall restaurant that I'm gonna have some arepas. And today I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I am switching hostels today. So I'll be going from the 7 Nights hostel, and now I'm going to El Dorado Plaza hostel, which is much nicer than the previous one. But I'll show you guys around once I get checked in. I can't check in until 3 in the afternoon. So I will let you guys know once I get checked in. It looks really nice. I'm excited about that one. And then I'll probably end up going to a couple museums today, so we'll see if that happens, because plans always change last minute. But yeah, so we'll see what we get ourselves into the next couple days. So I will see you guys later. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Okay guys, so I got the arepa with huevo and carne, so they're known for these here in Cartagena, so I'm super excited to try these. They got some salsa and some cream that I can put on there, but yeah, I'm super excited to try this. Okay guys, I want you guys to see how it looks. The egg is not all the way cooked, it's runny, so it's really, really good, and the meat's in there. Oh my god, this is so amazing. And here I went to the Cartagena Cathedral, and it was a beautiful church. It was just amazing, the attention of detail that they put into this church. And it was just fun walking around, reading a couple things about the history of the building. So that was pretty cool to experience. And then I stopped at the History Museum of Cartagena, which was a really cool museum, a very interesting museum. They had all the torture machines that they would use on slaves, and it was a sad moment just learning the history of it and how they were treated. It wasn't the most pleasant thing to read about, but it's the history of Cartagena, so it was very interested. And then I went down here to this tunnel, which was pretty cool, and I read that they do keep they kept slaves down there, and it was just one of those little hidden tunnels inside the museum, so that was pretty neat to experience. This museum was really, really big, and there was a lot to see. I do recommend this museum, so if you're ever in Cartagena, make sure you check it out. It was very interesting. Just learning the history of it, it was just very intriguing, and you learn something new every single day, and just how they lived back in the days, how they had everything, how it was they built the castles and all that stuff. So that was really, really interesting. And they did have a lot of artifacts that were from back in the day that they have found throughout the years. And then I headed to the Gold Museum, which was just down the street from the History Museum, and it was really interested learning about all the gold that they used to have back in the day and how they would use it and trade, and it was just very interested learning a little bit about it. But they had a lot of gold, different things that they made out of gold, and it was just interesting to see. Then here I headed to the Modern Art Museum, which was Enrique Garu, which was a very modern artist, and all his artwork was just amazing. I was just blown away to the detail that he put down, especially in his statues. His statues that he made, every little detail that was on there was just amazing. People were just blown away. Like all these statues of women, and some of them were men. It was just very detailed, and I just loved his art. It was just very amazing. And then here I came to San Pedro Claver Sanctuary, which was really interesting, a very interesting church, let's just say. It had different parts of it that you can walk around, and the art that they had there was amazing. It was a very big church, and they did have a tour to go up to the very top of the church, which was like the terraza area, which is the rooftop, but they were charging extra for that, and I really didn't want to pay for it because it was just a tiny little area you would go into. And then we walked here, and it was literally just tombstones, and it was just crazy to see that they had it inside a church. And then they had this garden. It was just beautiful, and it just sounded so beautiful. And then I walked into the church part, and I was recording, and it was just an eerie feeling. But it was I was all by myself there, so it was kind of intimidating. But they also do have the body of San Pedro Claver there. As you can tell here, they have his body there, and those are his bones. And it's just crazy to think that they have a body in the church. And that was just very interesting to experience. And then here I ended up going to the Navy Museum, which was really interesting to learn about the history of it. And first part of the museum, the downstairs area, it was just talking about the history of Cartagena and how they came about with all their like ships and their pirates. It was just interesting to learn. And then the top part was the part where they had all the Navy military things, and that was very interesting to see. and I was able to go into, they were more of an interactive museum, which is really cool, which I thought that was pretty amazing. I do like interactive museums because you get to feel a little bit more of the museum and what you're doing. And we were able to walk to like these submarines and how it looked in the inside and how it sounded. It was really, really cool and interesting to experience. And we were able to like go into other parts of the submarines and the helicopter and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting to experience. And then here it was lunchtime, and I went to go get a shrimp cocktail, which is very different from our Mexican cocktail. And this one had like mayonnaise in it. We don't put mayonnaise in it, but it was actually pretty good. I was kind of impressed how good it was. And then I started walking towards the Castillo de San Felipe. And so I was excited to go to that because I was going to be able to see the sunset. And it was a hike to get up there, but it was well worth it. There was a lot of tunnels there that I got to experience. I got to see the beautiful skyline of the city. And it was just beautiful, beautiful experience. So if you guys are ever in Cartagena, this is a must do that you guys have to do Castillo de San Felipe because it's beautiful, breathtaking. And there is a lot of places where you can take pictures, and it's just amazing. You can get some really good pictures. I was able to get some good pictures of myself, which I loved. And then these tunnels were crazy because there were so many tunnels, and I was like, I'm gonna get lost in here. And it was humongous, but it was so much fun just walking around and experiencing how they used to live and how they used to hide and protect Cartagena. And then I headed to the chocolate museum, which was really interesting. They had everything you can imagine with chocolate. And so to enter the museum, you have to purchase something, and then you can go actually up to the museum. They were about to close, so I hurried up and I got me a passion fruit with chocolate Slurpee, and it was actually pretty good. And I literally only had 5 minutes to go through this museum because they were about to close, and they were nice enough to let me up there for at least 5 minutes just to record because they were about to close. So that was nice of them for letting me go up there. But they had a lot of stuff. It just had to do with a lot of the cacao and like the chocolate and back in the day how they used to use it. It was just very interesting. Next time I go back, I'm definitely want to go back and actually take my time and read everything, but since I was in a hurry, I couldn't do that.
And after a long day of going to different museums, I was exhausted and ready to get back to my hostel.
Good morning, guys. So last night was fun. I did a lot of museums. I walked around a lot. I did get back to the hotel early and I passed out because I was super tired. But I did have a lot of fun doing all the museums. So I'm just going to leave you guys here. Hope you guys like, subscribe, and comment on this video. And I will bring you some more videos coming up the next couple of days. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.